What's going on, guys? It's Sevens here, and we're going over the Urien matchup. I'm getting a lot of questions about this matchup, and so I figured I'd finally answer it. I would like to say that this matchup, in my opinion, is quite even, actually. Ken has tools to deal with all of Urien's, potential attacks and strikes. Anything that he kind of dishes out towards Ken. Ken's running V-Skill 1V Trigger 2, and this is the setup you want to use because it covers most options that Urien dishes out. And it doesn't matter what V-Skill setup or V-Trigger setup that Urien's running because this works as a coverall for all of those. Now, this is a very defensive, with punish heavy, reactive, counter poke type of matchup for Ken. He's going to be playing off of Urien. So we're going to be mostly playing off of him until we get our knockdown to start our offense. Now, first of all, spacing is also very important. This is about the perfect range for Ken to deal with Urien. This covers most of his ranges for his buttons, and it gives Ken ample time to deal with the dash. It gives Ken time to deal with the jump. And cover his buttons, which we're going over right here. Now let's start with Quarrel Kick, which is a -4 button that leads to convergence for Urien, so it's going to come out. As you can see, we get a light kick, heavy DP punish there. But what if we're spacing out and it whiffs? Well, we get a nice line breaker to go with that. Now for this one, we have 4 medium punch, which is -2. And it's much harder to deal with standing, which is why sometimes we want to be in a crouching position so we can counter poke it. And once we get comfortable counter poking it, we can lead into our own conversions. Now, on the next one, we have low forward, which comes out quite often, especially on V-Trigger activation. You see that his bar is red, you know he wants to activate. So what can we do? Well, in the last patch, low forward had a further extended hurt box, and it has more whiff recovery, opening up more punishes. You can actually sweep on reaction, and if you're ready, you can even get a low forward conversion. Now, and lastly, even V-Trigger 2 punishes on whiff. Now, here we have the charge Stand Fierce. If you press a button late, that happens. Don't want none of that happening. So, proximity guard makes it a little bit tough as well because sometimes it'll make your button come out late. So, we want to make it to where we let the button whiff before we strike. And you still get those conversions. And sometimes even a good old-fashioned sweep is a good way to deal with it. And lastly, if they try to make it graze you and they fail, V-Trigger 2 can take care of that no problem. Which is really great because it shuts down that option. Now lastly, let's talk about Urien's Fireball. You know, you don't have to be a hero and try to DP the Fireball, because things like that can happen, and it's really tough. So, we have to rely on V-Trigger 2. Now be mindful, being spaced out too far can cause a whiff to happen. So you want to be at this range, which is important. So, at those ranges, it's very important to stay in a mid to short range as much as possible just so you can be ready for that. And still, Urien has a knee drop, which is really good. It's plus, it's a great way to get in, and it pretty much gives Urien a free ticket to induce damage. But at this range, we still can react, which is good. We have options. We actually have options here. Now, Chariot Tackle. This is the only thing that I would say at this range that Ken is susceptible to. because of its speed and, you know, low frame. And it's a pretty good move. So all we can do is we manage to successfully block to take our turn, which is fine. We're willing to accept that. That's the one thing we're willing to give up. And he's not going to have meter 100% of the game. So this is still working in our favor. Now let's deal with Urien's EX Headbutt. Now let's go for a flowchart setup, which typically would be ending in heavy toss or heavy DP to help us, you know, beat that. Because Urien's Headbutt is pretty slow startup for EX DP, kind of like Faults, Eds, or Roses, to where if meaty properly, you still can meaty without taking the risk of getting hit. As you can see, my jab came out, but I didn't get hit because I meated properly, and the timing on it still gave me the damage I needed. And he got punished for it, and he lost meter. And he's in the corner, which is great for us. So let's say he blocks the first one, though. Let's say he waits and blocks the first jab. This is why this target combo, well, this chain that we have, is great for us to use against knockdown opponents. Because if we use it this way, now Urien even still can't EXDP on the second button because we're at a plus advantage. We use a plus button that's low frame and has enough recovery for us to meet him still safely without the risk of getting hit, which is great. So that's kind of how you deal with Urien's wake up DP. Now let's talk about the V skill. Let's say Urien wants to create distance to V skill. That's something he cannot generally do because V skill 1 pretty much covers this almost nearly full screen. And Urien does not get the V skill charge. So this is really good for us, and we can convert. Now, this is pretty much how to deal with Urien's options, and I really hope this helps, guys. If there's anything I missed or anything you feel like I should include, or if there's another character you want to see next, let me know in the comment section below. Hope y'all have a great day, and that will be the end of the video. Peace.